Okay, let me read my script. It says, "We are here to celebrate and honor Tom and Esther Wachtell and their family." I hope that's why you came tonight. As you're probably aware, this is our inaugural event. And quite frankly, I can't think of people that are more deserving of this honor. Hi, Esther. I hope everybody got to be part of the video that was going around here, right? Did you get everybody saying hi? Okay, so what is this award? It was designed to do two things. First, to honor people who have made profound differences in the county. And it's also, we're trying to capture the history of Ventura County and the accomplishments of these people to pass that on to future generations so that people can learn about their achievements, and hopefully they will be enthused about possibly adding stuff themselves, because we live in a great place and we need to know about our history. We need to know what's happening now. So I had the pleasure of sitting at a table over here a couple weeks ago, and we were reviewing the mission of the museum, and we were reviewing the vision statement. And a lot of good ideas came up, and then somebody told us what it was. The Museum of Ventura County strives to inspire vibrant communities by connecting the past, present, and future. The Bridge Builder Award brings those eras together. It celebrates the accomplishments of leaders who have made significant impacts on our community, those who have changed the fabric of our community, creating a new and better future. Tom and Esther Wachtell and their family have been chosen as the museum's first award winners because they, since arriving in 1995, have left an imprint on a huge number of nonprofit institutions. They've fundamentally expanded philanthropy in Ventura County. Tonight, there are many people here who represent the initiatives that have been really raised to a new level by the efforts of Esther and Tom, levels that wouldn't have been imagined without their influence. The Thousand Oaks Alliance for the Arts, California State University's Channel Island, the Ojai Music Festival, Thomas Aquinas College, Libbey Bowl, and, of course, the Museum of Ventura County. Now, I could go on and name a couple others here. In fact, I'd have to name a lot more. But I think that gives you a flavor right there of the things that they have done for our community. Now, what I remember hearing time and again is how highly regarded the Wachtells are. Esther was the go-to person when it came to fund development. Now, personally, I like the parties. Their house is this is pretty nice here. This is pretty nice here, but their house is the ultimate go-to, and it has been used on numerous occasions to support worthy charities. Now, the museum has put together a short film which I hope will do justice to Tom and Esther.
What I love about Ventura is what this award is really all about. Ventura is a family-centered community where multiple generations are here and committed to the community and working to make the community better. And it's different from most other places that I've been, and I wanted to be part of that.
You know, if there's a theme about Esther and Tom Wachtell, it's building community.
I think something I've been lucky to have is having people like my grandparents who are very engaged in philanthropy and kind of in that community and that mindset.
When pillars of the community like Esther and Tom step up to invest in our students, it really changes their own self-perception of themselves. Because when they see people who have accomplished these great things in their own lives, believing in them, they actually believe more in themselves. And I think that has just been transformational for campus.
She really, from early on, showed me what it means to be someone who is intellectually rigorous, who questions everything, who is an avid reader.
She knew a community, you needed leadership for your institutions. And the institutions in Los Angeles that were at the Music Center needed young leadership. And she built a program called In the Wings, which was going to be a group of people who could at some point roll onto the boards of the operating units at the music centers. And many of them wound up ultimately going onto the boards of the operating companies down at the music center.
We had a conversation about, what do you really want to do? I think she said, Erica, what do you really want to do? And I said, I want to change the world. And she said, then let's get to it.
Something I've been lucky to have is having people like my grandparents and like my parents through my grandparents who are very engaged in philanthropy and kind of in that community and that mindset.
There is a constant call for help, and we typically answer that call one way or another. And there's no lack of opportunity to give, because there's a tremendous opportunity out there.
Every one of my grandchildren is working somewhere in the field of philanthropy and understands that this is part of their human responsibility. And that probably is the greatest blessing of all, to know that we've passed this thing on.
Well spoken. I want to thank those of you out there who didn't buy a ticket, because my odds of winning this have increased. And you got a couple more minutes to diminish my odds by raising your hand, and somebody will come around and collect $100 to benefit the museum programs. Okay, don't all raise your hands at once. Now, I was going to invite someone who knows quite a bit about Tom and Esther to say a few words. Wendy Wachtell, also known as Bradley's mother. But since Wendy is at her mom's side, I believe her husband Bob, am I correct? Yes. Will appear in the role of Wendy.
I'm not sure I can fill Wendy's shoes, but I'll give it a shot. So for those of you who heard earlier that Esther wanted tonight to go on, regardless of the fact that she's sitting in the intensive care unit at UCLA, not only did she want tonight to go on, but she was directing the changes from her hospital bed. And so Wendy called me and said, my mom wants you to read my speech. And I said, can't I kind of rewrite the speech and have it come from me? She said, no, my mom wants me to have you read my speech. And so I said, okay, tell you what, tell your mom that if I read your speech, that she needs to stop thinking about tonight, she needs to stop thinking about others, she needs to just listen to the doctors and take care of herself. And so Wendy turns to her mom, because Wendy's on the cell phone, and says, this is what Bob said. And she said, okay, I'll find somebody else to read the speech. So I'm reading the speech as Wendy wrote it. So I could not be prouder to be here tonight honoring the philanthropic legacy of Tom and Esther Wachtell. The influence they have had on their children and their grandchildren is deep and it's profound and will continue for many, many generations. My father is an unusual man. In the 1960s, when the role of women, no matter how bright and capable, was to be caring for hearth and home, he saw something else for my mom. He recognized that she was a remarkable partner and mother, but that she also needed something more. So he pushed her out of the door to engage, and engage she did. My earliest memories are my mother practicing her speech for the Los Angeles County Museum of Art docent tours, meeting and getting hexed by witches for art for fun's sake, and then a week later, a feral black six-toed cat appeared in our garage. You make of that what you will. Getting invited to go downtown to volunteer alongside Buff Chandler at the Music Center, just to name a few. And it was not just for others. She created the fundraiser at our elementary school. She was our room mom, our team mom, at every football game, horse show, and swim meet. I know my husband and kids are snickering now. Yes, the apple does not fall far from the tree. But that is the point. Just as my mother learned from her father, who rebuilt the YMCA and was a lifelong member of the Rotary Club in White Plains, New York, my brothers and I witnessed what it means to give back. Not just lip service, but action each and every day. And always with my dad, both in supporting his own passion like creating the Homegrown Opera of Los Angeles, and there to support and nurture what became a full-fledged career for my mom decades before most women were working. That influence took root. Roger and Kathy found their passion in environmental and land use issues in and around Ojai. Peter and Debbie have tackled the arts in Boise. The grandchildren all understand the need to get outside themselves and give back. My husband, Bob, has a deep commitment to youth sports as chair of the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission and the LA84 Foundation, among many others. And clearly, my 30-plus career in philanthropy and board service is a direct descendant of my parents' work. It has been a joy to share this with them. We have spent hours talking about whether the arts, which feed the soul, or education, which elevates the mind, should be priorities. We spend days thinking about fundraising plans for nonprofits we care deeply about. I don't think a day goes by when we don't discuss some aspect of this work. It's our passion, our commitment, and our bond. It's also what has kept us healthy mentally. From the time I was a teenager, when I would get into a teen funk and think the world was out to get me, it was always my mother who told me to get outside myself and do for others. And as always is the case, she was right. It breeds a gratitude that can change a life perspective. I, in fact, think giving back may ultimately be one of the most selfish things one can do. It just feels so good. And that, among many things, I have my parents to thank for instilling in me. And we are not alone. I know that many in this room are families like ours who have made multi-generational commitments to the museum and other organizations in Ventura County. Our communities don't thrive without all of us coming together to give our time and treasure. So tonight, I thank my parents for their legacy, and I thank you for your commitments to engage in the community.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Wendy. Great message. Now, it would be my pleasure to present the first Bridge Builder Award. That would be my pleasure. But I think the honor of doing this presentation belongs to the Barbara Bernard Smith, Executive Director of the Museum of Ventura County. This wasn't in your script, was it?
No, it's not, but I'm ready.
Elena, you, like tonight's recipients, amaze me. Wednesday night, I was reading your latest email blast, MVC Now. You and your very small staff are doing great things. Keep up the good work.
Well, with an intro like that, I have to introduce the very small staff. Back there, stand up, please. Really do. That's them. I love how they all look like the witches of Eastwick. They're not actually. Normally, they don't all dress in black. So, to be a person who is invited to speak for Esther Wachtell, your wife, is an unbelievable, I don't know, a not dream come true. I am not deserving of this, but I have been asked, and so I will. So Esther has this to say to all of you tonight. I am so saddened to miss this very special moment together. I love to show off my family. I love to be with friends. I am so grateful to so many of you for helping to rebuild our very important Ventura signature institution. And I am not with you. Please know that if I could stop coughing and start talking again, I would be there with bells on. Tom and I appreciate the museum's recognition. It truly is a blessing to be surrounded by people who dedicate their lives to serving the community. That is what each of you do, and you create a remarkable environment for all the people who live in Ventura County. Thank you for giving us a home filled with natural beauty, human creativity, hardworking leaders, and kind and loving friends. And thank you for being here tonight to display all these assets and so much more. I promise to create more events to celebrate together as soon as we can. Meanwhile, please keep up your essential commitment to the Museum of Ventura County. Yes, may I repeat, please keep up your essential commitment to the Museum of Ventura County. Yes, thank you. Oh, it says, under the leadership of Elena, that's me, and Kate, where's Kate? Where is Kate McLean? Kate McLean. And the board. There are many of you here on the board. You're all around. We have conquered a lot of hurdles, but we need to go further to stabilize our progress. I just have to take a moment to say that in my darkest hour as the director of the museum, I turned to Esther. And what I said was, I don't know what to do. And Esther came forward and said, I will help you figure out what to do. How many people can say that to you in your lives? Thank you, Esther. And she has said here, but the museum and we need to go further to stabilize our progress. Yes, we do. Only we can make that happen together, and I pray that you continue to join us in making great things happen at our museum and in Ventura. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Spencer tells me that it is now my job to present the first annual Bridge Builder Award to Tom and his family, designed by Fran Elson. Fran, where are you? Amazing artist, Fran Elson. Can they see it? I'll bring it over. Come on, you made me do this. Bring it on. Yes, we should. Go.
Don't drop it. Okay, now, a little bit more about me. I lived in Evanston for a couple years, I think I got a degree. And Evanston's a nice city, and it's right next to this other city that's called the Windy City. And they have some architectural icons there that are definitely worth seeing. So imagine flying over there first class, which is really business class, but you know, flying there first class, spending 3 nights at the Palmer House Hotel, having dinner one night, having a special invitation to Open House Chicago, whatever it's called. What's it called anyway? And then you also get a boat ride. And when you do this, it'll be October 19th and 20th is the weekend that the Open House Chicago is. You're going to have a wonderful time. But actually, I want to go, so I'm going to bid against whoever bids, and then, you know.
I bid.
Oh, how much did you want to bid?
I'll bid $3,000.
3,000. You know, actually, I'll go 3,500. But do I have anybody here that wants to support the museum by bidding more than 3,500? Do I have 4,000 over here? Thank you. How about 4,500? 4,500. Thank you, Marshall. $5,000. That's a nice number. How many would like to bid $5,000? All of you raise your hands at one time, but the first one I see will. $5,000 here. Do I have 5,500? Well, you know, the other thing is, if you don't bid on this, you have 5,500. Thank you, Dick. How about 6,000? Do I hear 6,000? I've got $5,500 here for a wonderful weekend in Chicago. 6,000. Thank you very much. You know, we could skip right to 100,000, and I'll stop there. No? How about $7,000? Do I have $7,000 from anybody? Excuse me, $7,000 is all. What number were we at? I thought we were already at $7,000? No, were we just at 6? I lost track. 6,500? Is that the bid here?
I think we're at 6,000.
Shh. He probably doesn't remember any better than I do. We have 6,000 here once. Do I hear 6,500? 6,000 twice? Thank you very much. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my own name for this beautiful etching. Last chance. Okay, where's my name? Wait, I got it here. Oh, Joe, are you bringing up did you get everybody else's name out of there? Okay. Bradley, did you buy a ticket? Then come up here and draw my name, would you? Oh, don't worry, your credit's good. Hey, we need to add 2 tickets in here. Quick, somebody up here. Well, we're bringing those 2 new winning tickets. It's almost guaranteed. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. And I want to say I am walking away even more impressed with the Wachtell family and all they've accomplished. And even more impressed, and as impressed, with the museum. I think we've got a great thing going and we can make it better, and I appreciate all the help that everybody is doing to make that possible. Now, is the candid camera actually on? Is this being recorded? Because I think everybody right now needs to give out a big shout to Esther and to Tom and tell them how much we appreciate them. Well, you don't care if they win. Get up. No, just be ready. You got to practice. Let me mix those up.
She was FaceTime in, so she's been seeing all of us. Okay. Next one.
That is my name.
Is it really? No.
Congratulations. Since we can't read it, we draw another one. Oh, come on. Congratulations. What's that? You want to have another drawing, or do you want to just give it, or do you want to just, I think you should take it home to Esther. I think you should give it, if you want to give it away, give it to their family, and then they can donate it back later. Okay, I think I already have the first dance with Elena, but I'm going to first have a little bit of dessert. Dessert is outside, and then there is dancing to Sergeant Pepper, and I want to thank all of you for your support of the museum, and I want to thank you for being here. And once again, congratulations.